Omelette du fromage.
Omelette
fucking-
clunky.
I already
What are we
almost
doing?
messed it up myself.
Omelette du fromage.
Because I was like, omelette du fromage.
I got lost in the
That was
sauce.
the
I wasn't
worst
sure.
one.
I forgot what we were doing for a second.
You just clarified.
Oh, rough.
What show am I on?
McClunky, I guess.
Where are we? Hello?
Oh my god.
Hello?
Welcome, everybody, to our House of the Dragon episode 7 discussion. I'm joined by the boys, the squadron.
Hey, it's me, Billy Butcher.
Now,
It's
Cass,
me.
who are you?
Kamiko.
Okay, weird choice.
Oh, okay.
Richard, who are you?
I couldn't
Hi.
think of
I am
Yeah, wasn't
Kaz the
we choice
DM.
That ain't
I was
no
in the boys.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
you were that guy that got
Have you-
killed in the last episode.
I was a French guy.
Frenchie?
Why didn't you pick Frenchie?
Yeah.
How did you forget his
No, that's
name?
who Kaz the DM is. That's Frenchie.
Who's that French guy?
Who's the French
Frenchie?
guy?
No,
Frenchie.
you guys, you lot are ding dongs. You missed my joke.
You lot.
I was saying Kaz the DM played Frenchie, but
Oh,
no,
yeah, man.
you guys are too stupid.
Did that happen?
That's true. I am very stupid.
No, you're not stupid, Richard.
I'm dense.
You're extremely big brain.
All right, so this episode, guys,
That head of yours is huge to hold that brain of yours.
that's so big that like you sort of slump over.
Okay, stop
Exactly.
it.
I don't.
Crack that egg. Get some out of there, dude.
That egg came back in. Sorry.
So this
Okay.
episode, guys, what do you guys think?
This
Let's
is
just
the best
hop right
episode
into
of the
it.
show so far.
I loved it, honestly. Yes, I loved this episode.
There was a lot of drama. It's not my favorite of the episodes, but there was a lot of cool shit happening.
I don't know if I'd say
This
favorite,
episode had me on the
but
edge of my seat, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were scenes that I was literally freaking out about, like squeezing the chair I was sitting on. Like, oh my god.
Like this episode and the last episode are like where it's like finally like picking up, where like
Yeah, things are happening.
actual like repercussions are happening now.
Dude, getting WWE Hell in the Cell Children Edition was the best shit I've ever
It
seen on
was
TV.
fucking wild.
Getting fucking Amon fucking knocking out 4 children. He was in a 4v1 and
Aemon
and
not
he-
here.
he almost beat them all.
Yeah, did we ever see him in the last episode, like in the training area, like fighting like that? Like, because that was shocking to me. Like, that came out of
like,
nowhere.
yeah.
Nah.
He was like getting his ass whipped by his brother every time.
I think it comes down to like an age difference though, because he's like 11 or 12 and they're all like 9 and under.
And this guy's fucking
There's
choking
also
one guy
been,
out,
like,
like punching another person
Your
now.
boy, bitch ass Kristen, didn't teach him nothing. There's also
Yeah,
like that.
fuck Kristen,
That's,
man.
I guess, true. It shows
Harwin
that,
Strong taught this guy.
it shows that that Kristen's teaching to the other kids has actually been effective, whereas like the other ones like are just not getting it. That's like the sad
Yeah.
part. Oh, fuck you, Kristen.
A
you
kid with a
bastard.
rock can destroy 4 children.
I actually thought he was gonna get
That's
to
what
use
Kristen
that
Cole
rock.
put. What? I'm glad he did it.
I
Because
was
I
so
would be.
scared, dude. Because like,
Yeah,
I
no,
was, like,
exactly. I was like, if that rock comes down,
I will say
effective, dude.
they
I
actually
thought
kind
he
of
was going
subtly
to kill
show
someone, dude.
that Kristen's teachings are working, because in that episode he says to use your feet when he falls over,
Yeah.
and in this episode he does that.
kicks
He
him,
falls
yeah.
over and he's like kicking him.
Well,
I
you
also
mean
can't
for-
stop
for
calling
Aemon
him
or
Crispin.
Or who went down? Because I'm
nah,
also
yeah.
saying,
Crispin's the other guy. Because he died.
pardon?
Crispin's the other guy.
Oh, boo.
Crispin.
he-
Ow,
Because he crispy.
But with who are we saying? Because like, yeah, like I think we were saying that Aemond is getting more of the teaching with Aegon and stuff like that,
Mhm.
right? Because he just immediately favors these other children. I would say that,
Dude, I get
like,
lost in the
his-
names. I don't know.
They're the white-haired ones, and Aegon and Aemon, white-haired. But with the other kids, even I would say that they still kind of pick up on certain teachings because, like, they were. I don't remember if he said certain things, but he was just saying to fight dirty-ish, right? So, like, in that fight, I'd say when they threw the sand and shit like that, I was like, "That's what you gotta
Oh boy,
do."
that pocket sand, dude.
It's a
Pocket sand.
That shit was wild. I mean, I think the teaching is working on every one of those kids, because all of those kids were down to scuffle right there, dude.
Yeah, like,
They were
This
like, okay,
kid-
we about to fuck shit up, dude. I was
This-
yeah,
like,
like,
standing
it
up
is-
cheering when the girls like charged him.
As
I'm
soon
like,
as
oh,
I
Me
saw
too.
here
that,
we go.
Me too.
I like, yeah, and they like as soon as the girl charged him, he just knocks one of them out. I'm like, fucking equality, man.
Because like, it
Hell
really,
yeah.
it really hurt. Like this kid. I wish that they'd even brought this up during the whole discussion scene, but like the fact that he stole their pretty much like passed down dragon thing. I get that that's not how it works properly, but like because they were going to claim it. She was going to do it.
That's
Yeah,
what
he
I was
basically
saying.
stole
Like,
their legacy.
This kid came in here, stole their dragon, knocked all 4 of them out, lost his eyeball. I turned to Staya after the eyeball. I'm like, this kid's gonna grow up to be a fucking badass. Like,
Yeah, he got like literally the biggest nuke in this universe. Like,
yeah, like,
Yeah.
and it just made me, because I was like, damn kid. And I know that he's trying to use the situation to his favor so that they can get things out of it. But like the fact that he just held on to that last note of like, don't worry, mom, it was a fair trade. It's like, you're a little shitbag.
I lost an eye, but I gained a dragon.
Because everyone in
It's
that
still
moment
funny,
is like,
though, like,
oh fuck.
This show has a way with like making you like or feel bad for a character and then instantly hating them like an episode later.
Yeah,
they did
like
it with,
fucking
with Kristen, and now they're doing it with this kid. Where like 1 episode ago, I was like, man, why'd they give him the pig? And now I'm like, this little motherfucker, dude.
No,
Here's
now,
the thing, though.
now
Like,
I'm like,
there's
fuck, this guy's awesome. You know,
there's a bit where like he smiles at Lucerys.
Across
when,
the fire
the-
thing, right?
Yeah, no, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Because I knew he was gonna be a little shit.
I thought at that
But-
moment they were going to have a little bit of like a back and forth and bond, and we'd see like an actual connection forming between the two sides. Because I think that would be a cool dramatic thing. Because I think we're seeing another time jump, right? Where these kids grow up or something like that.
Yeah, there'll be one more.
So like, I would love it to see that there are people on each side that like each other and don't want this to happen. You know what I mean? So I thought they were going to be that. But then, then they proceeded to take the shit out of each other and be like, bastards.
bastard. Like the and then like the queen going crazy. Like that's where I'm like, fuck this bitch. Like, I hate her.
That scene was so
I want to take
good.
the kid's eye now. Ugh, what a freak.
Now I'm gonna ask you guys a question about that scene, because I actually have a YouTube comment fight going on right now on this scene.
Like
Of
any
course.
respectable adult
Yeah.
would.
So
You don't. If you like, here's the thing with Sam. If you go onto any 50% of the Star Wars videos you go onto, you'll see Sam in the comments somewhere.
you'll see me scrapping with people. I'll be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I remember there's this one that like he started, and then so he told me, and then I started, and then
And
he
then
told AJ,
me,
and AJ
and I
started.
came in and started doing
I was like, "Get out of here, guys! Don't even." This makes me
You
look
guys
bad.
gotta relax.
No, because
You dig in a hole like
well,
the
we
one in
didn't
the
even
park.
bring it up that we knew you. We just started fucking going at this guy.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes
I
you gotta
was
defend the
pulling
homies.
the whole like pity
Exactly,
round. Like,
straight
I'm
up.
like, you hate this for no reason. I pity you. You're dumb. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Then he stopped talking, and you like,
then
I
he
win.
just stopped. Like, I think I made him feel bad. Thank God.
You like changed the direction of that guy's entire channel.
He no longer does right wing Star Wars media anymore.
He's now 100% on board with any Star Wars media at this point.
That's what I like to hear.
What were we just talking about before that? The fight, or what?
The fight,
yeah.
yeah.
What we think about
Oh,
the scene with the
Oh,
queen?
I was gonna ask you guys a question about that because I'm in a YouTube comment fight. Okay.
Yeah, that was
So-
it.
Allison says to Kristen Cole, "Please, okay, you are my sworn protector.
Yes.
Go and get his eye." Right? Like she asked him of that, and yeah, like he said, "I'm your sworn protector." And implying pretty much, I'm not going to go do that. I get that, but when shit hit the fan, and
Yeah,
like everyone
right.
was scuffling down, I don't want to be that guy. He was going for the eye. I think that was my interpretation of that scene. If he could have gotten his hands on that fucking kid, he would have done it.
Oh yeah,
So you think so too?
probably. I mean, because I think Kristen Cole has multiple reasons. One is that he's following his queen's command, and two, he fucking hates Rhaenyra right
Those
now.
are exactly the two things I've been saying on this comment section. However,
Yeah.
everyone is saying that he wouldn't do that because they're saying more so that he's going to defend the queen. But I think that if that
No
were the
way.
case, that is bad direction, because if you watch the scene actually and what's happening, why wouldn't he then just beeline for Alicent to like defend her? You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead,
There's no way
he
he was
literally
going to
goes
defend-
evasively around everybody. And even when
Exactly.
Daemon stops him, the fucking run that he's doing is not a run of like a Kingsguard in protect mode. It is a run of a man in feral, like, I'm going to rip this kid's eye out to get at Rhaenyra kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, didn't Daemon? Isn't Daemon the one that stopped
Yep.
Kristen?
Yeah, and that's the scene
I
where it's
thought-
like,
Badass scene
I
ever.
thought, I thought these two were gonna fucking go at it.
I
At
thought
that point.
they're definitely gonna tussle again. I don't know.
Oh, I hope so. I am
For
waiting
sure.
for that shit. Did you notice that, however, at the beginning when there's the funeral, and like the fucking like priest or whatever is like clearly making jabs at
The uncle.
the
That was the
well, he's clearly
uncle,
making jabs at like at Rhaenyra's kids, and
yeah,
then
and
Daemon like takes the time to like make himself the center so that they're no longer doing that. He like
that was your interpretation of that, eh? Okay.
Yeah, because like he looks
Huh.
up, they both make eye contact, and then he just starts chuckling in order to draw attention to himself and away from the kids.
Huh. That's
What a
I
fucking
didn't
good
take it
guy.
that way, but I like that better. I took it as just Damon's a fucking weirdo.
I took it more so as
Yeah,
Daemon is
I did,
literally laughing
yeah.
about the fact that this guy is still politicking at his fucking wife's funeral. He's like, literally, you're doing this here. Like,
I thought so too. Like that it was just like him being a weirdo until like I saw a video of like them and like they reacted to like them looking at each other, him looking down the kids, and then looking at like the priest and chuckling.
Yeah, I like that a lot better. That I think that makes more sense.
Yeah,
Dude, Daemon is so wild of a character, dude.
Damon is
probably
like
my
Jamie.
the most interesting character on the show for me. Just on like, what are you thinking and why are
Yeah.
you doing the things you do?
Like that's like
He
it's like
is
Jamie, where
so
it's like I
Jamie,
don't
yeah.
know like if I should like him right now. I do, which is weird, you know. Like he's great. Like he's a dickhead and a monster most of the time, but I like
Yeah.
him.
I
also,
think
like,
I like him
smart.
so much because he's
Yeah.
so unpredictable. Like
yeah,
Damon keeps me guessing. Like, where is this show going?
yeah, exactly.
This, like every other episode before it, this episode does have me feeling even more and more bad for the king. I just wish he would just be able to live in peace. And not
He just
have
wants to
deal
play with his
shit.
minis and
He just wants to be left alone and for his
Like,
family to
in
get
the last-
along.
yeah, he just wants to have his family get along. Like,
in like
at the end of the day,
episode
that's
6,
what
it
is.
was so cute of like them walking in and he's just like sitting at his table, like what? Like hello?
Right? I just feel so bad for this man.
Like, and then you
My
just see
boy
the depression
Viserys.
on his face set in. Oh fuck this again! Right, I'm
Dude, that
king.
just going back to this though, that scene where Kristen's walking towards whoever he was walking towards, and Damon stops him. I was watching it with my buddies, and all of us were like, "Oh no, you don't, motherfucker!" Like we were so excited when we saw Damon stop him.
I was so on Kristen's side at the beginning of this show,
Yeah,
and how I
Isn't it weird?
so much, you know?
dude,
I
like
fucking
Kristen-
hate him so much now.
I don't know if they did that in the original show, that they ever had a character do a pivot like that, like so.
They did it so
Well,
well
not so-
too.
not
so
dramatically.
yeah.
Mm.
It was
Where
really
like
cool.
oh man, I'm so on this guy's side. I want him to succeed. I want
Right.
everything that he wants. And
What
now
are
it's like
your
I
thoughts on-
fucking hate him. I want him to die.
On Theon, because like Theon has like that kind of arc where like
But
he
it was
like he's-
longer.
Yeah, but Theon's
Yeah.
was like multi-season long.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
with
No,
Jamie, where
like,
it's like
from where
they
you
start
start
off one
hating.
way and they end another, but it takes so many
Yeah.
seasons to get to that point.
Yeah,
Whereas with Kristen, it was one episode.
and
Yeah.
they made it so good.
Because, like, even it makes me look at him in earlier episodes, like when Rhaenyra and him went off on the hunting thing or whatever, and he like asks her, like, "Do you want me to kill this guy?" And I was like, "That's actually kind of fucking scary that you're saying that, because you actually are kind of fucking mentally unhinged
Ready.
in a way, right? Like that we don't really know about at this point, and you seem nice, but you, in hindsight,
even then
are
is still-
creepy."
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, do you want me to kill this guy, dude? Laris Strong is just like every time you see him,
Oh my god.
he's just
Like,
like,
you
"So
want me
you
to
want
do
me to
anything about
kill
it?"
somebody or like what's up?"
Yeah.
Him at the opening scene in at the funeral was ridiculous, though. Where I was like, "Dude, stop what you're doing! You're giving like such
But yeah,
like,
you just see him in the background, like
just staring, like, and I'm like, bro, fucking chill with
Yeah,
that."
even the queen, like he's like, you want me to like fucking kill like an entire family, and the queen's like, you need to chill, please.
Yeah,
She said something like that, like discretion, please, like fucking bring it down. Dude. Also, like your brother and dad just died. Like maybe don't be like so hoity-toity happy looking, but like Jesus, dude.
That guy's cutthroat as a mother, though. I love him.
I also just always love seeing the different styles of things in Westeros, or I mean, what is the whole world called? Is there a name for the whole thing?
Caldora.
Earthros.
I love seeing like the different ways of like how they deal with death and stuff, because even like the subtle detail of like when they push the coffin in, that you can see that there's like, I don't know how many per se, but like there's a bunch of like other.
There's no official name for the world.
No? Okay. There's a bunch of other sunken coffins under there, and just like the cool like implication of how they handle this stuff. Oh, I just thought it was cool. I loved it.
Yeah, that's gonna pile up eventually.
Yeah, it really will. is, I was like, that's already getting kind of high, dude. How low was that?
I love
originally?
their house in general. The entire house of what is it? Valerian.
Valerian.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
talk
just
about like
think
the dead
they're-
bodies piling up. I
Yeah,
had the
yeah.
same thought.
Yeah,
Like,
I
eventually
think
that'll
they're
be like,
really
we
a
have to
really
change
cool
spots
house.
here, people.
They just shoot another body, just lands on top of another coffin, and is just sitting on top of the now.
Like, actually, when
Actually,
Rhaegar
I
was
love
like
that
in
line.
the water, he was standing on the coffins.
Was he?
No.
Oh, he probably fucking was for all we know.
Sorry.
I do love that one line where I can't remember anyone's name in this show, but where the leader of House Valerian or
Corlys.
whatever, it's Corlys, is that his name?
Yeah.
When he's telling the kid like this is all going to be yours, you're going to be like the leader of the tides or whatever, and the kid's like, I don't want it, because my first reaction was, fuck, more I don't want it,
I thought
and
that
then
was,
the kid's like
I thought that was funny.
immediately like, if I get this line or if I get this, it's because everyone's dead, and then I was like, oh shit,
Yeah, there's
That-
substance.
That was
My poor
some
baby.
weighty
Substance.
dialogue right there, because like to me, yeah, like I love that too, Richard. I thought like it was so cool because Corlys is a guy who's grown up. He knows all of this is pretty much how it is. It's like set in stone. And when you talk
Set in
to a
stone.
kid about this, they don't think of the world that way.
yeah,
And
and
he's way
it's
more
actually kind of nice to
emotionally
see.
invested, right? Like, and then I think it even brought Corlys back down to that level where it was like, fuck, that is sad.
Right. I think this whole episode did a really good job of showing like what these consequences mean from a child's perspective, because we've never seen that in Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah.
every time there's a kid, that kid is just like some political pawn. You know, this is the first time we've seen like an actual child's perspective of what this shit's like, and it sucks.
That's like when like Aegon was like drunk. That kid's 12, by the way. That kid's supposed to be 12 years
12?
old.
Oh, wow.
He's supposed to be 12 in this. But like, I thought they were gonna fucking drown him, like when they're dragging him away. I thought like,
Yeah.
who was it that was dragging him away again? Because like I thought they
Otto,
were
I
gonna
think
fuck
Otto was
kill
like
him.
taking him away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was Otto. Like I thought he was just gonna throw him overboard or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't
Otto
know.
can't be trusted.
Yeah. Like,
There was just a lot of stuff in this episode that was like as you were saying, like very gripping. Where even Corlys's openness to, I can't remember this guy's name, but pretty much Laenor's boyfriend. When
Yeah.
he went up to him and was like, "Collect your patron," the way that he said that and how open it was to everyone to hear it,
everyone
was,
just
yeah.
was quiet.
it gave
Oh.
me like heart palpitations. People like, I
Yeah,
was
because
like,
it's like there's so much tension because everyone knows about
Yeah.
everyone's secrets, but everyone's pretending like they don't.
Yeah. Well, that's how politics is, man.
it's just
Yeah.
so like deep and rich in like in feeling. Like I don't know, like it was. I was also gotta say, I don't want to jump ahead in a sense, but I watched this episode again with my family. Fucking Christ, why do I always do that?
Why do you
these
watch it with your
episodes?
family?
Because it's nice.
Oh, I was
family
like,
time.
this one's not weird, and I remember. Oh yeah,
And then you remember,
Yes.
oh yeah, that happened. It was like, God damn it! There's always the sex scene.
That's okay. You can't really see much
You
in it
can't-
anyway.
Exactly, I was gonna say.
It's too dark to see.
Also, really, how did you guys feel about Otto in this episode as compared to when we last saw him? Not to jump onto that.
I mean, man, he's there.
I will say he looked fucking. Like, oh, he was looking good. He had the drip today. That was that was my take on it.
For me, like
I hate Otto.
You hate Otto? Like in
I
like
want to see him
I
die.
hate Doc Ock.
that's
No, he's the lizard.
he's the lizard.
How about Dr.
I
Octavius?
was like, wait a minute, who is he?
Otto
I see what you're
Octavius.
saying.
Otto Octavius.
Wait,
And it's that caught me off guard because I get it because the name, but he actually plays the lizard in Spider-Man.
That's what's
Yeah.
it's trippy. But my thing.
oh,
was
I'm
that,
dumb.
like,
I just such an Otto actor.
I
I'm
only
stupid.
nice. I only bring it up more so because like in the last few episodes before he left,
Oh my god, I love him.
yeah, he was also
I thought
in,
he looked
he
recognizable.
was in Little Nicky for other people who hate Adam Sandler.
Was he
movies.
really? What the fuck?
He was his brother in that movie.
Oh my god!
What a gross game. Wait, show.
But I only bring it up because beforehand with the time jump, when Otto was like kicked out, I genuinely didn't, because I was always saying that it seemed like, yeah, he went for like the Alicent play where it was like, oh yeah, become queen or whatever. But it seemed like it was his brother kind of pushing that mentality onto him
Yeah.
to be like pushing about the Aegon in command kind of shit or whatever. But then in this episode, it seems to be totally different. Like he seems to be conniving and shitty. Like that was my takeaway from it, at least. That's only why I brought it up. But
Yeah,
I love that Otto did straight up say, like, you know, the kid brought us something far greater than anything we had before. You know, when he, like the fact that they have a goddamn dragon now is
not
is
only a dragon,
huge.
the dragon.
biggest,
Like
the biggest
this dragon, I imagine when they start fucking fighting, is gonna kill dragons easily. Like it's gonna be scary.
I'm so excited for that, man.
I have questions about dragons. This might be a question for Cass. So, Laenor has a dragon, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I know where you're going. I know where you're going with this.
Where are all
Sea
the
smoke, yeah.
dragons? And what are they doing?
Well, actually, they showed the dragons in this episode.
They showed the dragons.
I will say I liked how I loved seeing all the dragons. Not all the dragons, but some of the dragons.
Like
They
they
had
were all
like
hanging
6
up.
dragons there.
Laenor has a dragon,
Sea
but
smoke.
you know, our boy Lenny's gone now. I'm calling him Lenny because that's my boy Lenny.
Because
But
he's your boy,
he's
yeah.
still there.
He's gone
Still
now.
around.
So what happened with his dragon? And
Yeah,
if-
wait,
so,
I
like, if
actually
you
asked
leave,
Kaz about this. Like, here's the
does
thing.
the dragon unbond with you?
Because like, would the
So,
dragon
like-
still know that he's alive?
I assume yes, because like, because I assume like they have a very
Maybe that's the
strong
plot point where
connection.
like no one the dragon isn't
No one
bonding to
can
anyone
bond
else.
with-
What the hell's happening?
No, here's the thing, because like Sea Smoke is a dragon, and like when, like for a time, Vhagar flew away to Valerian and stayed there for a time, and so like you could imagine Sea Smoke would do the same
Yo,
when
fucking sea
Laenor
smoke
dead.
looks awesome.
Sea Smoke flies away. Yes, Sea Smoke's cool.
My like, because I know we were talking about this, and like the takeaway, because it would be like, would Sea Smoke follow Laenor, or would Sea Smoke just
I love the colors.
just interpret the death as like an emotional event that's happening with everyone else and just feel it? Because we know that they kind of actually have a connection with their riders in a way, right? Like, so
Yeah,
it's
like,
it's a
there's
hard question.
like a sort of mystical kind of connection, and it makes me wonder, like, okay, is Sea Smoke gonna leave, or does some other shithead get to like walk up to Sea Smoke and be like, Dracarys, and then
Well,
it's his?
Dude,
God.
my thing is like when I'm thinking about that in a scary way, like with how like I think they've said that a dragon has never had 2 riders at once. Is that the thing? Or...
Yeah.
So like my fear then would be that the daughter will try to get Sea Smoke,
Bond.
and then
Yeah.
this dragon will not allow that because it's
She
like
gets
Laenor is
fried.
not dead, and something like that happens. Like that would be actually scary to me. Holy fuck! I don't think it'll happen, maybe, but Jesus. That's
Yeah,
my
Mine-
takeaway, right? Where it's like, what happens to the
I
story?
like the design of all these dragons.
The dragons in this show are a 10 out of 10.
yeah, they look really good.
My takes is that like Sea Smoke won't even be there. Sea Smoke will fly away. That's what I think.
Yeah. I do. One of the things that I really like about the dragon design is how unique all of them look. Like how I don't know if this is like canon, but I did
Yeah.
read that Daemon's dragon looks the way that it does because it's like fucked up. It's like a mutant dragon.
Yeah,
And then on the other end, the big dragon, I don't remember its name.
there you go.
Vhagar?
It looks ancient. Like
Yes.
it looks super old.
Like his
It
wings
almost-
are all like shredded and
It looks
everything.
right.
dusty.
And its face is almost like tortoise like.
Yeah.
Where it
Yeah.
it looks very distinctly like less lizardy than the other dragons.
As he was flying, I was like, this guy's gonna fucking tear his wings apart, like
right?
just by flying.
But God, they all look and sound so good, and it's very clear to me that like all the like I guess dragon tech, which sounds like a TV show, but all the dragon tech that they
I'd
utilize in the original Game of Thrones, I would too, is very clearly being put to really good use in this
Yeah.
show. Like we're getting so much dragon stuff that we just didn't get in OG Game of Thrones. Like
Yeah, you
they've
can-
mastered it.
You can definitely feel the increase in like the proficiency in what we're doing now.
Yeah,
it's
like
way more
that scene
confident,
where
too.
Yeah, and they're using it like the cinematography of just the dragons moving around is so good. Like when Vhagar flies in front of the moon for a second, I'm like, God damn, that's beautiful. That's a wallpaper if I've ever seen one.
Wow.
Do they say, by the way, if all the because I know that we keep Vhagar's a she, right? Or is that how that works?
So Vegars are androgynous. I don't know if
that's
the
what I was
word
gonna
for it.
ask.
Like,
Like, can all
they
dragons lay eggs?
change.
Like, can all?
Yeah, they can.
Okay.
They change based on like the need.
I just
I
wanted to
think.
know if it was like set up that dragons have to mate with each other or something to produce these eggs.
I'm
or
looking it
something,
up here. It's saying her for whenever they're referring to
but I
Vhagar.
think I
Yeah,
have
because they
been
will.
noticing
Yeah, they
that,
do. They do refer to her as her, but like they are.
They're like
Well, able to-
clownfish.
Because
Or, like, they can change
their
gender if they need
people
to.
have been saying that we're gonna see by the end of the show fucking Drogon like and all their eggs or whatever. Like I don't know.
I
If
don't
that
know about
happens, I'll
that.
laugh. I'd be like, well, there's another connection that we didn't really need, but okay.
They'll be like, oh, there's one last clutch, and then just show 3 eggs.
Or no, it
Dude,
was
back to
Dreamfire's eggs, something like that. Yep.
Laenor. Like, look, I'm sure all of us during that scene were like, are they gonna kill Laenor?
Yo.
I was on the edge of my seat, like they better not. I fucking love this man
because he literally, like in the scene before, he signed his own death certificate by being like, "I swear to myself that I swear to you that I will be amazing. I will be dedicated." And I was like, "Dude, shut up! This is like,
he's
classic death
just like the
words.
king. Where I feel like this guy is an actual good person in Game of Thrones, and he's gonna get fucked. And I'm so glad that they hit us with a misdirection there, and my boy Lenny got to live.
Me and my mom, like when we
got
watched
out
that,
of
we
it.
literally screamed at it for each other. We were like, "Yeah!" Because we fucking loved him too. We love that guy.
It raises questions about the lore, because this means that there's Valyrian bloodline in. I guess he's going to Essos.
Yeah.
And isn't that like a thing in the books?
Young Griff. Oh no,
yeah. I
was.
I have heard people talking about that with the Jon Snow show coming out that they might try to do the Young Griff thing.
I wouldn't like that. I think that'd be stupid. I'd be stupid. But like, yeah. So like, there is young Griff in Essos, but that like also is like based on like the Blackfire Rebellion, which is from like Targaryen bastards.
Like he might not even be proper.
It's interesting though, because now we have like an actual great house of like the ancient houses that's just in Essos.
Or they could pull a Game of Thrones where like suddenly in season 3, like Rickon was like, where he was like, "Where is this guy?" And then suddenly it's like, "Oh, he's dead because now Ramsay has him. We're gonna throw him out into the field and arrow him."
Yeah,
like he might still die.
I do think realistically he'll be coming back. I don't know if it'll be to kill
Laenor,
but I think Laenor we'll see him again.
I think Laenor might be kind of like in like the same with fucking what was his name, the Baratheon bastard in like Game of Thrones, where like they just had him Gendry, where they had him gone for a couple seasons. I think they might do the same with him.
That's where it'll just be like he shows up, but I honestly feel like it'll be a sad thing when he shows up because we don't want to see him. I think we want him to just be free.
Just let him go live his best life.
Yeah,
and then he's gonna come in and ride on Sea Smoke again and start fucking shit up and then die.
Do you guys think? And I don't think so because the reactions were so fucking visceral. Do you think they didn't tell the parents?
No.
Fuck, man.
Oh god, no. I don't think anyone knows except for like Daemon and Rhaenyra.
Rip to that poor NPC that Daemon just killed in a hallway.
Yeah, that guy probably sucked.
Fucking sucks to be that dude.
This was the thing though, because I remember seeing last week, like the next week on Game of Thrones, and they showed like Laenor and someone fighting, and that's what I remember talking last week about. Like, there's a spoiler in the next thing that I'm worried about. That was that, and I'm like, so fucking glad.
I don't watch those because I don't want to get like
they pretend to kill him, then actually kill him the next episode. That'd be bullshit.
I am super glad to see that we were all wrong about Graham McTavish's character, that he did not die off screen.
Yeah.
Oh right,
super
yeah,
glad
we
to
had
see
that discussion. Shit, yeah.
Who's Graham McTavish again?
He was the bald. He's the bald.
Harold.
Who's Graham McTavish? Only the sexiest Scot to ever live.
I don't know. There's a lot of sexy Scots.
Oh yeah, okay, this guy, yeah.
And that's another point in that scene. Not to go back to that, but like the fact that he, the whole time, if you're listening to that scene, is yelling like, "Stay your hands, Sir Kristen." Like, go back to.
Like,
like
Kristen is obviously like a fucking shithead, even in the Kingsguard.
He's like, protect the king, Sir Kristen. That's like he's managing so many things at once.
He's like a bunch of kids.
So bad.
Stop it! Don't put that in your mouth.
Which is also a beautiful part of that scene alone was when the kids all started yelling at each other, and it cut to like the parents. In a way, I don't know. That's not really trying to like imply this, maybe, but it just felt like like this is what it comes down to: is people bickering and yelling at each other, and you're all children, like going at nothing. Like that's really what it felt like to me when they chose to do that. But
yeah, and it shows they're passing all that shit back down to their kids.
Because these kids like could be friendly to each other, like we've seen in the scene where like in last episode when they were training, I believe that Aegon helped. I can't remember the other kids' names, like the Jaehaerys and the Luke or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Those ones I
Luke.
can't remember. But he
This one's
did
named
something where like
Jaehaerys,
they
this one's
helped
Luke.
him, and it was like, oh cool, like there is bonds between them. They did the whole pig thing together against Aemond,
Yeah,
but
because they
now
are
they're
still
going to start
family.
getting fed this shit that they.
Yep,
should
and now
hate
now
each
it's
other.
turning into like a whole like green versus black, like
Yep.
whose
Yeah.
team are we on, and that's gonna be the theme of the show most likely. But I did love that when the Queen asked Sir Crispin to help her, you see Graham McTavish's character like exchange like a what the fuck kind of glance to him.
What the fuck?
Well, I feel like
And that kind of like I feel like what's our Clegane bowl? Is it going to be Kristen versus Daemon, or is it going to be Kristen versus the other Kingsguardman?
I think that guy is going to just, I'm not going to lie, unceremoniously die off screen or something.
I think
probably.
I have a hard time thinking that only because Graham McTavish is like one of the more well-known actors in the show.
I guess.
Like he's
I
a
have a
big
question.
actor.
AJ,
I don't-
didn't know.
Well,
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I recognize him, but like I don't think it's not for like another 100 years. But like the Blackfire family doesn't it isn't around this time, right? Right, Kaz?
Not yet.
Yeah. I was just wondering if they were gonna play a role or anything, or like if that was gonna
But-
bring up.
Because it's around like Maester Aemon from Game of Thrones is alive during the Blackfire
okay.
rebellions, so it's a while away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like,
another
we're
story
gonna
that
get,
they
like, a
tell. The
split
Blackfires. That's
I
cool.
can't wait to
That's
see that kind of shit. But with those looks that he was giving, I felt like when Alicent revealed, I don't know if that's like a reveal to people, but maybe like people aren't aware that it's as tight as it is, where she's like, you are sworn to me, fucking do what I say. And everyone looks around, they're like, what the fuck? Like, you're like a Kingsguard. You're not like supposed to be like doing that kind of shit.
I think that it was kind of revealing a secret because he's not sworn to her; he's sworn to the king.
And
Yeah.
that's why I think that he says what he says, right? People like in my comment battle. That's why I think he says what he says, because he's keeping up the appearance of like, no, I'm a Kingsguard. Like, don't try to drag me
right.
into your dark shit right now.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I was
and-
saying
and
that to
Kristen
Sam
was
as well.
not now. Later. Okay, like just.
That's the thing.
Not gonna
Christian
do
has
it
a
now.
fucking bad sense of honor, where he's like, I need to keep up appearances that I'm honorable, because like this is why this whole storyline is happening pretty much. Fuck. But because yeah, dude, if you had just been okay with being the fucking boy toy on the background, I'm pretty sure this would have been fine. God damn it. Fuck, I hate that guy, dude. He's so annoying because of like the what?
Kristen?
You want me to? Yeah.
He's so,
You want
he's
me
so
to be a
handsome and
man-whore?
perfect. Fuck that guy.
You want me to be a man whore? Yeah. No. Okay. When you say it like that, it sounds shitty. But listen to me when I tell you in a better way. Okay. You
Yeah.
dumb motherfucker. God.
I'm nervous about the idea of Kristen and Damon having like a big fight later on because we've already seen that Kristen will win.
Yeah.
He's already beaten him
I-
before.
Don't know anything about
Oh,
this
no,
goddamn show.
I know, right? Isn't it so refreshing to not have a clue what's going to happen?
I think that they'll be around for a few seasons at least. 'Cause they can't
I
get
just,
rid of
like,
Matt
closed
Smith
my
like
eyes for a
that. I guess they
second.
could because Sean Bean was out in the first fucking season.
No,
I
but I
don't
think
know.
Damon stays around for a while.
He is okay because like he's
I think so.
good. Like he's,
I would imagine so. I mean, like, I don't think they would have the whole like wedding switcheroo deal if he wasn't going to stick around for a little bit longer, at least.
Like I hope at least a season. Like maybe
Yeah.
he dies at the end of season 2 or something. But fuck, I don't even want that.
Do you guys
I don't
see
want
how
any of these
awkward
characters to die except for Kristen.
how awkward the kids looked at the marriage between Rhaenyra and Damon?
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is
All the
fucking-
kids are like, "Oh, fuck."
What was the time frame on that? Like, is that like the day after? Like, how long is all this?
Do I
shit?
call this guy uncle? Do I call him dad? Or
I imagine because it's kind of nebulous. The show is moving very quickly, and I do think that's intentional. And I think that the time frame between like the death of what's her face to the marriage of those two had to have probably been at least a
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Because like
This
even in
is-
the books, there's many times like at the beginning of every book, George R. R. Martin always puts like the continuity is everywhere. Like each chapter could be months or years apart from each other.
It's my one problem in the show, I think, that like, because I love this show, I think it's amazing, but I think that like that time skip, there were definitely things that I was like, ooh, that suffered because we didn't get enough time to sit with that. I feel like I think it would have been so nice to see Damon with Lena. I think it was her name. It would have been so nice to see him with her for a couple more episodes and like develop how like they actually are. And then end on like I don't know, but like that's again like it's probably gonna be fine when the whole picture of the season is out and I see it.
Yeah,
But-
I think that we think we want that. But if we saw that, we'd be like, "Oh, this is just Andor."
We are back. Thank you, Grab Food.
I don't know,
Where
man,
it's-
because like that's my
It's
thing.
just taking too long.
I don't want to sound crazy here, Richard. I look forward more to She-Hulk every week than I do Andor right now. Even like the
If I could fly to Canada and choke you, I would
because
do
at
that
least
right
She-Hulk
now.
has some like shitty things in a sense to it. Andor is just so nothing to me that
That's
I'm
fair.
like,
Look, I look forward to She-Hulk more than I look forward to the Rings of Power.
oh my god, okay.
Like,
The Rings, I don't know if you
She-Hulk,
saw the
I can
last
at
episode
least
of Rings of
laugh a
Power,
little bit.
Richard. Exactly. I don't know if you saw the last episode of Rings of Power, Richard, but like
I sure did.
I think that there were because like I'm really getting hit by the fact that like I think that the writing of that show is bad.
I'll be right back.
It's so bad.
It's not okay. Well, it's not bad, but it's like not great, and especially when I'm watching it compared to fucking House of the Dragon, right? Like it's.
I know.
Back to back, it's like,
That's
what
the
am I
biggest
looking at?
problem.
But then how
I honestly think
does...
that Rings of Power would have been a much better show critically if it released at a different time than House of the Dragon.
Absolutely, but also I think that like what my problem is with the show is that like we were saying, writing can only go so far with budget. Like it's not going to change the writing necessarily to have a bigger budget. So the movie or the show's relying heavily on these visuals. That I'm like, how? Oh, we're talking about Rings of Power for a little second right now. So like at the very end of that last episode, when shit hit the fan, I was like, see, this is cool, but like the rest of it just didn't really get me.
I don't want to go too far in Rings of Power because I am saving all of my thoughts on that. But I will say that I felt like it is insane to me that a show with the budget that show has did a battle worse than the battle on House of the Dragon that's on the beach. I'm like, how are you guys fucking this up this bad? This looks amateur.
The battle on the
like there's yeah, where Damon's fighting the pirates or whatever.
Sure, I guess. I mean that
that
was, like,
looked better
okay.
than what's in Rings of Power, and Rings of Power makes like triple their budget, and it's just insane to me. Like just one scene in particular, right? They circle all these orcs with fire, right? And they're like the orcs just stand there and get shot with arrows until one orc decides, oh, I'm going to kick this piece of wood so we can move. And I'm like, what? Like he just kicks a piece of wood over, and then they pan out and show this the piece of wood he kicked wasn't even on fire. He just kicked it out of the way and they walked through. Like they just stood there and let themselves get shot. Like the thing about orcs in Lord of the Rings is like they're like wild and savage, but they're not stupid. So it's that whole show is just written so badly, and then when you watch House of the Dragon, it's like, okay, this is what competent writing looks like.
Like this is riveting character stuff, whereas like I feel like when Rings of Power is like dawdling to get somewhere, I'm struggling to care.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest gripe between the shows is that like I find that like like we were saying, like I'm fucking gripping my chair. But then when the only time I'm gripping my chair in Rings of Power was at the very end when I was like, oh, I was fucking right about something and I liked that.
Yeah.
That was it. Like that was fucking it.
I don't want to hate Rings of Power as much as I do. I desperately wish that I could like it, but it's so much harder to like it when I have a direct comparison of what a better fantasy show could look like. I really think that the show would have done better if they just waited a couple months until House of the Dragon ended or showed it before House of the Dragon.
I worried.
I think they fucked up by doing it at the same time.
Obviously, they put a lot of money into it, and they're not... I mean, I don't think that there's a way we can really tell, but I don't think it's getting the same numbers as House of the Dragon. It's not getting the same discussions going. It's not...
Oh, definitely not.
Like,
definitely not.
I don't know, like... I know, AJ, you're loving the show, and so like, does that skew your YouTube at all? Like, do you see like people talking about it a lot, or?
Let's see.
Like, I don't know, unsuggested or whatever. Because like I'm watching Nerd Soup and they talk about it, but like, they're losing it. Is the thing.
I haven't really been looking up anything about it. It's all just flooded with
hate
cyberpunk right now.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say like if you looked up like Lord of the Rings, like, or it was gonna be flooded with like the hate videos.
Well, see the thing about that is like I'm holding both. I'm holding both at standards different from each other. Well, House of the Dragon, I'm holding at like both of them are both visually appealing. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm holding House of the Dragon at a different standard because it's more political than Lord of the Rings is. While I'm holding like Rings of Power at a different standard for different reasons.
Yeah, for being more of like a fantasy epic kind of like visual thing. There's a lot of like cool shit going on visually in that show, I will say.
Because knowing Tolkien, knowing
Sometimes.
Tolkien, everyone's always complaining that nothing's happening in some episodes or like very little. Knowing Tolkien, they're building up to something amazing.
I'm very
not
glad that we
Tolkien.
didn't spend the whole last episode on the boat. That's all I'll say, really. Like, I'm glad we
Yeah.
got somewhere. Fuck
I
Like,
hold it to
things
the
are-
opposite
things are-
standard.
Things are
We're-
progressing at a pace I expected from the show.
There are
I
2
consider
more
George R. R.
episodes?
Martin to be like bottom tier compared to Tolkien. So I hold Rings of Power to a significantly higher standard, and it is flopping so hard.
Well, that's
Oh,
kind of
no.
like, I think, a difference in that sense, right? Because we don't have Tolkien to kind of be here to, like, to guide people.
Well,
in a
that's
sense,
kind of
right?
what I
Like,
mean when I
George R.
say that
Martin is, like,
it's
actually
not
on
Tolkien.
board.
Like it might
yeah,
be
sure,
an
but-
offshoot of Tolkien's story, but at the end of the day, it's not Tolkien. It's the
Well,
two
That's
showrunners.
fine, sure, but I mean,
To be
like, at
fair-
one point, like,
to be fair,
he's-
if it was Tolkien, Tolkien adamantly hated everything that was not his own creation from Lord of the Rings
I
or
just
his
think
probably
world.
that's
would
kind of a
too.
fundamental problem, though. Is like at one point people will pass, and like we want to keep telling these stories or something. So I don't think that it should be like impossible to do so. I think that
Yeah.
like we have like
I think like taking inspiration from his writing and creating a story in the same world is totally doable. Even if like it changes a little bit, I don't really mind that because I enjoy it. You know, like I'm a fan of the
I think
books
that,
of the. Actually, I'm not a fan
really.
of books.
Yeah, you.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the movies.
Yeah.
And everything. So the books are all right at best.
See, I think that this is why the fan base is so split, because I do think, and I see merit in what you're saying, that, you know, we want to be able to continue telling stories even after the person who wrote it passes. I agree with that. But at the same time, there are fans like myself who consider making an adaptation of Tolkien that is almost not even based on his works to be almost sacrilege. And that's kind of how I see this.
Well, see, you're taking the writings of a children's as gospel. So I don't know what else to tell you.
No. No, The Hobbit is a children's book. The Lord of the Rings is definitely.
Lord of the Rings is absolutely a children's book.
That's a hot
don't
take that I
think
won't
so.
even address right now.
Because if it's not a children's book, it is a very poorly written
Have
adult
you
book.
read it? Because
Yes,
it is
I have.
a
I've read all-
difficult read. It
I've
is
read
not
all
written for
3 of them,
children.
and I was bored the entire way through. If I'm being
I was
honest.
too. That's why I don't like the books. I respect them, but I think that Tolkien's prose is awful. And that's what I'm saying, though, is that The
They're-
Hobbit
they're
is an easy
children's-
read for children.
they're
I read
children's
The
book
Hobbit in
written
elementary
in-
school.
They're written
I think we should move past
because
this.
him and C.S.
I do
Lewis,
too.
they both wrote that in Narnia. Narnia is absolutely a children's book, and Lord of the Rings is very closely written the same way as Narnia is.
what I will say that Rings of
I-
Power has over, or Game of Thrones right now is that I don't know what the fuck they're doing over HBO, but like, can we get some better fucking night filter things going on here? 'Cause
That's
I
one
at
thing for
least
sure.
Could
Yeah.
see in that Rings of Power night fight shit, whatever I needed to see in this scene.
That's fair. I'll give you that. I
And, like,
couldn't see shit
we
this
talked-
episode.
Okay, we talked about that last week, didn't we? About like you were able to see
Mhm.
the long night because of new TVs, right?
Yep.
And fucking
Yep.
hell, what? Actually, we have an answer for this. This was shot day for night. Like
I was just about to say that. The reason this looks so bad is because it was day for night, and then they adjusted it with filters, and it made it just look like a mess.
it was
Mhm.
bad. Like I thought it was like a directorial choice to like maybe not show people's faces and like their actual reactions to things. And then there was a
Right.
part where it literally cut from Daemon and Rhaenyra having sex to Aemond, and I thought it was like, did he just see him or did she just see them?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
That's what me
but
and
it
Cy were both
wasn't.
questioning. Like, did this kid just watch his sister and uncle?
Like,
Yeah,
it was
I do
very
think that,
badly cut for being so dark.
I don't understand why anyone does day for night. Like, we don't need to do that. No one needs to do that. Why the fuck are we still doing it? It looks
an
awful.
example of
Everyone
it being
knows
done
this.
really well is in Mad Max Fury Road, where the night scenes were shot in day, but you can
Mhm.
still fucking see
Well,
everything.
because
Yeah,
those
that
were
show also
so
had, like, a very
heavily
stylistic choice.
Exactly. Yeah, like there was a blue, beautiful thing that they did instead of going with whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
They were like, just throw some black on that fucking shit. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
I want to.
this looked like they did day for night,
Nothing.
and they cranked the contrast like way lower, so everything just kind of looked like gray,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't really see any outlines of anything. Like
Yeah,
the
I
whole time
agree.
I was watching it, I was thinking like, man, am I having like compression issues? I just said last episode that I don't have these problems, and now I can't see Jack. Yeah, I think this episode was just filmed poorly, or at least during the night
Mm.
scenes.
Yeah. That was my
Oh.
definite complaint. It's like anytime we're gonna be in darkness, it's what the fuck, Game of Thrones? What did
Mhm.
we just do?
Yeah. It wasn't like that bad for me personally. But I can't, like, it was at the same time. Like, I will say, like, it was ugly to look at.
On my TV is relatively new, so it wasn't super bad, but like it was still definitely like odd.
I think I've had this TV for like 6 years. So I don't know if that's probably not new by people's standards, but
Man, I don't want to flex, but I watched this shit on a top of the line Sony 65-inch OLED television, and I couldn't see a fucking thing.
see, that would piss me off. Like, I really just dedicated all this to this? I can't see shit.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Is like I could see shit during other night scenes. It's just this one was just shot so strangely that I couldn't. It's not that I couldn't see what was going on. I guess I could, but I had a hard time, like, I guess visually locking into things.
Yeah.
Because it was just muddy.
The darks were so dark that it was like very.
It was like crunched.
Yeah.
Like everything was like super crunchy and compressed looking, and like I wasn't having internet issues. Like, what the hell does this look so damn crunchy for?
Yeah.
Even my buddies were like, dude, what the hell is happening? I can't see anything.
Mm.
It's like, did y'all not learn after a long night that maybe we should just Helm's Deep this bitch and like get some proper lighting? I will
I just
always
don't
go
understand.
back to that.
You
That is
guys
my
can spend
favorite
so
nighttime
much
fight.
money on these goddamn dragons, but you still do day for night?
They spent so much money on the dragons that they forgot to pay the electrical bill.
Yeah, right? Like, goddamn, just wait till it's nighttime and film it.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was
Good
probably
episode,
my
though.
biggest bugaboo. The whole episode, I was like, "What the hell is this shit, man? I can't see." And I'm
Yeah,
watching it with
I
my
could look
parents,
past
too, so
it.
they're like getting mad, dude. They're like, "Why can't
Indeed.
I see shit?" God, I don't know why
Yeah.
they're like. I don't know why they're
The only reason I was able to let it go is because this episode had so much happening so fast that I didn't have time to be angry at how I couldn't
Yeah,
see.
yeah, exactly. Same with me, where like shit was going down. I was like, "Oh fuck! Oh shit! Oh shit!" And then I just completely overlooked the entire darkness, I guess, aspect of it. I'll rewatch it.
Going down. I was like, "What the? Oh, shit's going down! Shit's going down! I can't see shit! What the
Yeah,
fuck is
and
happening?"
when Aemon was like looking at like Vhagar, like to like go and like steal him, I was like, "What the is that mountain? Was he looking at?" Like,
Still,
Yeah, I couldn't
cannot
even tell at
I
first.
still cannot see Vhagar in that frame. I'm literally
Yeah.
looking at it right fucking now, and I cannot see.
what the
it.
fuck is this kid looking at?
Well, when he's the hill when he's sleeping.
No, when I thought that he
Mhm.
was like seeing, well, I mean, like, yeah, when it transitions to his situation from the sex scene, that's why I was like, is he looking down at the beach and
Yeah, no,
seeing
no,
the
exactly.
tents? Like, what am I looking at?
Because, like, they're in the ship. They're, like, hiding.
yeah, and then
Shit.
yeah, they're in like a crash ship or something.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought they were.
Yeah, it was like an upside down boat.
That's what. I thought they just had a
So then,
makeshift
like-
tent.
When like when it cuts to him and then like he stands up and starts running towards Vhagar, I was like, "What is he? Is he running like to like stop them from having sex or like what's happening?"
I thought he was running to go tell people they were having sex.
I
that was
don't
my
know,
original
man. I
interpretation.
had no idea what was going on.
Oh my god, Rhaenyra and Daemon are having sex. And
So-
she's with
so
Sister
far-
uncle.
We have only seen Vhagar at night, right? Have we seen
No,
Vhagar in
no,
the
we saw
daytime?
Vhagar in the day in the last episode.
Yeah.
Did we? Okay, never mind then.
Like it was when Caraxes and him were like flying above Pentos, I think, and then they. Did
Oh
that.
yeah.
Which was like again, like it was like I'm reading too into things, but like it was cool to see these two dragons kind of have like a cool dynamic in a way.
Yeah.
So that's why I was also like, do they have relationships? Because it'd be cool if like that was a problem for
Do
those
they have
dragons.
relations?
You know what I mean? Where it's like they go into war and then Caraxes and Vhagar kind of
Oh, the dragons
and
coupling.
They don't want to fight. Damn it, Richard.
I had a theory initially that like because I forgot that we'd seen Vhagar in the daytime, but my initial theory was like maybe they're doing these like day for night shots because Vhagar's so huge that like the model has lower resolution textures or something.
No,
they're
Vhagar looked
trying to hide it.
really good in the last episode, actually, because it would look at
Yeah.
Vhagar had all this like we're saying, like Vhagar gives off like this old presence.
And
where,
like when
Yeah,
he's
he's
dangly-
about
I just
to,
looked
like,
it up and yeah, I'm
when
eating
he's
those
supposed to like
words.
shoot fire at Aemond, and like he lit up the entire scene with just like opening his mouth.
that was cool. Like, and I was like,
Yeah,
see, like
that was
now,
awesome.
fuck, like if you're going for a cool direction here, where it's dark until the flame shows up, then maybe have a little bit of flame once in a while in other like torches lighting the walkway or something for him. I don't.
Dude, I thought that
I
little
don't know.
boy was toast.
I
I was like,
please kill
you
him.
out of here.
Yeah, that kid is dead. But no,
I
he
would have really
survived.
liked the idea that like that Vagar is that the one? Vagar?
Yeah. Yeah.
If Vagar was like not into it, just like not right now. I need to mourn or something like that.
I'm
like
tired.
give me
Because
time.
like,
I'm
he
old.
sort of almost felt that way. And whenever he touched him, he was like, "Hey, back off!" Like,
Yeah.
Fuck
No,
off.
no,
He
no.
did, and
no.
he had like she had like a hesitance to get up and move.
Yeah, it
Um,
felt like she was very aggressive towards him in the first place, and I was like, "Is
Yeah,
this
like
really
she
gonna
was
be a
like
good
flying
bond?"
really dangerously. I did love that like the entire time that Aemond is riding Vagar, he's just like
Like he's gripping on for dear life. The
Like, this
entire
kid
I
is
thought we
gonna
were gonna
eat
see a
it.
kid fall off of a fucking dragon, and I thought that was the
I did
plan.
too.
I thought Vagar was like, "Fuck you, kid, get off of me," pretty much, and like I'm gonna
Well,
go.
I think that was the idea. Is that like sort of like how like you tame a horse.
yeah, the dragon was like testing the kid.
Like if you could hold on, we'll bond, man.
That's
but,
cool. I do appreciate that. Then
When he was flying, all I could think of was like How to Train Your Dragon.
I just was so
Same,
like,
same.
truly. Oh my god, I was just genuinely so mad with the kids in this situation, though. Like, even though the music was all inspirational, I was just already like, "What a fucking asshole!" Like,
Yeah, this little shit.
just like right
The pro-
away.
I
too,
mean,
like, she
Let's
ain't
be real
even-
though, like
Hey,
it wouldn't have happened if they didn't bully him.
but let's be
You
real.
think?
Also, I would have done the same goddamn thing.
Oh, dude, for sure. I think that poor kid was bullied. Like, he doesn't get a dragon and he desperately wants one, so
Yeah.
he shot his shot, dude.
He took his shot and he got the biggest dragon around, and then he
Right?
beat up his cousins.
And that kid was like, "Hey, fuck all of y'all, bro. I got a dragon. What y'all
I
got?"
hate him.
Once
I
he-
hate him. I'm sorry. He's an
I'm-
asshole.
Once he
I
finally got
love
that power
Aemon,
trip,
dude. I'm so excited for his future. What?
you should be. Is what I'll say. Well, once he got like that power, I think like because like he's always had like that chip on his shoulders. Is that the phrase?
Yeah.
Like they've always treated him like the runt of the litter. But
Yeah,
then once he got the biggest motherfucking dragon, he's like, "Nah, you lot."
I'm excited for his future.
You were my
fuck all
homies
y'all.
from day. You were my homies when I was day 0. But when I'm day 100, all of a sudden,
Here's the thing. There are
yeah,
no
like that's what it felt like.
there are no characters in the show that I hate in the same way that like season 8 of Game of Thrones made me hate people. There are
They maybe
characters-
ate everyone in that fucking show.
There are characters though in the show that I love to hate. You know what I mean? Like Joffrey kind of shit, where it was like Allison,
Yeah.
Like
Allison, Kristen,
Loris
and
and
Aemond are gonna be those people for me. Where I'm like, I hate you, but I love you because you're so good on screen.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I'm excited for this kid's future because like as soon as he was fighting everyone, I was like, it was bringing me back to like my favorite character, like Jaime in Game of Thrones, where I was like, this guy is a badass. I'm gonna love this kid when he's older.
My boy
Yep.
Jamie. How
This
they
kid's gonna be a
massacred
fan
my boy.
favorite. I can tell right now, baby.
Oh man, yeah.
All I
and then
care about in this show is that my boy Lenny is untouched and
he's
safe.
going to die in like 3 seasons. It's gonna be like
Stop it.
I'm sorry, but like if
No, we've been saying, I've been saying every fucking episode that the king's dead, and that man's still in here.
that's
so
true. That's true. I'm so shocked, man. Like when he eventually is he gonna just be here for this season and in the last episode he's gonna croak or like what's
that's what I think. I think last episode he's done, and then they're gonna do the winner party, and we're gonna be like, oh shit, season 2.
I am so sad that we already have 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
Like we're already at like the ass end of the season, and we're gonna be in that point where that like with what you're saying, Richard, where at the very end we're gonna be left on something, and we're gonna be like,
Yep.
fuck.
Yeah,
Now I'm sitting with this.
I haven't had this feeling about a television show in quite some time, and I think, of course, it sucks to have to wait, but I'm also
The weight is
it
beautiful.
feels good knowing like I have a TV show to look forward to again.
Yeah.
I'm
I have,
also
like,
kind of refreshed.
3.
Like, god damn, I can't keep tracking 3 TV shows at the
Like
same time.
Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Thursdays are kind of lame, but Fridays and Saturdays, I'm like, oh man, this is loaded with a bunch of stuff.
I got too much shit to do.
we
man.
got Rings of Power, we got House of the Dragon, we got One Piece, but we got
Yeah.
I was gonna say Ando now, One Piece.
and we got She-Hulk, which
I
already
watch House
well,
of the
you-
Dragon on Mondays because I don't have time to watch it on Sunday nights. So that like basically from like Sunday to Monday, I just have to like stay away from my computer. Just don't touch the internet.
While you were gone, AJ, to get Subway, I said this to Richard, and I think you're gonna fucking hate me for what I'm
All
about
right,
to
what
say.
is it?
I look forward more to She-Hulk every week than I do Andor, I think.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about Andor. Andor's on there too, guys. On that.
Yep.
Like at least with She-Hulk, I'm ready to be like, well, that was kind of bad,
Well,
funny.
Like, what I'll say about Andor is really good but forgettable.
I agree. I completely agree with that.
It's slow, I'd say, but
Like every episode, I'm like, this was a really good, solid episode, and then the next week, I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta remember to watch Andor.
every episode,
Yeah, I feel the exact same
and the
way.
newest one included, like from last night, fucking.
Yeah.
I ended that episode and was like, that was it? Again. I'm telling you right now. That's gonna be every week for me. I think
I gotta watch that after this.
The show is doing a thing where it's gonna be like every 3 weeks it's worth it. That's what it's gonna try to do.
I think that's what like Star Wars has been doing, where they're taking like what could be a 2-hour movie and stretching it into 9 episodes.
Like
Yep.
chill out.
Just wait for the fan edit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Dude, I think this would be a really good tight thing.
I hate to say this because it hurts my soul to even admit this, but I think She-Hulk is on the same level as like the DC universe, where like it's not good, it's objectively bad, but
Yeah.
it's memorable.
Yeah,
I hate that.
people are
because I
gonna
love
remember it
these
because it's bad. Like
That's funny.
there's they do certain shows like some like Marvel and Star Wars. They do certain shows where it's like, oh, like this movie is really weirdly paced and like it seems like there's a lot more to tell and it would benefit from a show. But then they do the opposite at the same time, whereas like this show is way too long. It needs to be a movie.
They
Yeah,
don't know
And
how-
I
I
think
don't
that
think
I think they just don't know how to do either, because like there's movies that are way too fast and need more time.
And you hear
And
a lot
there's
about it in
movies-
like the editing room too, situations where like a lot of like what was Multiverse of Madness, like they had like a 3-hour cut or something that Sam Raimi talks about.
Yeah.
Like there's like huge things in the movie that it's like we cut out a
One
whole
that-
hour apparently.
Bro, when
Predated him too.
when fucking when the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League came out, and then fucking they brought out that Peter Jackson was like, yeah, there's like a 48-hour cut of Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Fucking hell.
I would sit through every second
Hell
of that.
yeah.
Let me
Dude.
see every frame of it.
Fuck yeah, man.
Like, please release the Jackson cut, dude. I'm
Please.
trying to sit
I
through
want
that.
the
I want to.
Jackson-
I want to live in that, bro. Please, just let me roll around
Two-
in that
two
sweet
full
Peter Jackson
days.
Lord of the Rings, dude.
So
Two
okay,
I
full
want that
days
in
of
my
Lord of the
blood.
Rings,
now that we're
please.
talking about Lord of the Rings for a little bit, and we're pretty much wrapping up our House of the Dragon thoughts, I want to ask you guys a question for for Rings of Power. So if you haven't watched Rings of Power, spoiler alert: how the fuck is anyone alive after what just happened?
Bad writing.
I think they'll explain it, but yeah, I do agree with that. Where like
I'm
like,
cool with her
that
living
is-
because she's an elf or whatever. Like she's got
That
like
is-
shit.
I mean, maybe people are dead, but like
Like there's a
when
very
doing that,
prominent
I was
character there.
I was like, that is smoldering hot ash.
That's
No
a
one is going
pyroclastic
to live
flow.
through a pyroclastic flow.
Like coming at
Like-
you, dude. Like
Sorry, but that ain't gonna
It even
happen. You don't
showed, like-
stand in that.
it showed a goddamn house getting hit by it and getting eviscerated. So I was like,
Right.
you are dead. Like maybe Galadriel is gonna pull some fucking I'm a dancing elf bullshit thing or whatever. But like
She's gonna bounce off the smoke and into the sky.
exactly some shit.
I have so many questions about that. Like, for one, volcanoes don't work that way. You don't just pour some water in, like the whole mountain erupts.
Well, I think the
I think
idea
that
is
was
that
like a
it built-
fantasy element of it. I'm fine
I
with
think
that.
the idea is they built up like a lot of pressure in it to
Yeah.
make it explode.
The pyroclastic flow was like you just don't live through that, and anybody with common sense can see that.
Look at you,
and then
fucking
the-
guy from
Well,
Jurassic World Fallen
I
Kingdom.
think like
Right?
they're gonna pull some shisty weird shit where it's like, oh, some people survived, but like I think
Yeah.
Galadriel's seen that. I think she's just like, I'm dead. Like that's why she didn't do anything to like stop it.
My biggest problem, and this is just me nitpicking and being like a weird medieval nerd, is that they chose to defend the town and destroy the fortified
Yeah.
tower.
What the fuck?
That is the dumbest shit I have ever seen. I'm watching that and I'm like, what the fuck are you
Yeah.
doing?
What was the
You have a fortified, walled-in tower, and you're going to blow that up to defend the
Well,
town that's
and it
open on
dwindled
every side?
nothing. Like there were still billions of orcs.
It was just stupid.
I think because like there was like a lot of orcs. I think they did because they like if they were gonna stay in that tower, they were gonna die. But if they left, they could have at least fought and for like what they want, you know.
Nah. But I tell you guys the stupidest shit in that whole episode. Before we end this, who the fuck would grab that like the sword handle thing and not look at it to confirm
Right?
Yeah,
that it's
like,
the sword
as
handle?
as soon as they grabbed it, like they never unveiled it. I'm like, that's not this.
I will tell you, when like the music started kicking in and he opened it up and it was a hatchet, my heart was going crazy. I was like, "Oh baby!" That's when I was into the episode. That like whole episode.
I'm just saying. I think the next few episodes, like there's 2 episodes you said.
I
I think these 2 are gonna be all right. I think they're gonna be good.
I hope cool because like what I was asking about like a certain place and country came true with what kind of just happened. I think, and I love
Where like that. This is Mordor.
I guess yeah. Okay, we're just saying it. But,
Yeah.
like, that was so fucking cool to me.
Because like I'm like they're probably gonna get a season 2.
Absolutely, I would say at least a season.
And
2.
I think they're gonna learn a lot of things from season 1 and make season 2 even better. I that's the hope at least.
Do you
Show's
guys
canceled
think-
after season 2.
Do you guys think
That's
that
my
the
prediction.
tower like ruins or whatever are is I mean I'm being very dumb about this because I don't know the lore here.
I
Is
think
that
it's Osgiliath.
is that what that is? What's that?
I don't think so.
I thought it was gonna be Sauron's tower or whatever, like the eye of Sauron. Is that like gonna be like the foundation of that? Again, like if you don't know, then I'm just asking like shit from like potential shit. I don't know.
No,
No,
those,
it's not
good.
they're not
No.
even. They don't even have anything to do with Sauron. Those towers were built by the southern people for Morgoth, not.
But that's what I'm
Sauron.
saying. More so is that like he would like build off of where those are.
Nah, he just
No?
builds a new one.
Builds a new one. That's what I was. I don't know because I'm not going off of 100% like the picture because I looked it up last night to be like, oh my god, like is it going to be the same looking volcano from the movie? And it's
I will shit in my
Not really.
pants if they do that and walk away from that show forever.
like, what do you mean?
If they do some kind of dumb shit connection to Lord of the Rings with this by saying, "Oh, these towers are Sauron's towers." Ooh, remember
I don't know, I
Sauron?
think that like would just work.
I will
think
shit
that-
in my pants and I will walk
visually,
away from
like,
this dumb show forever.
Okay.
If they pulled away from it, I'd be like, yeah, I can see it because it's the volcano and then there's the tower.
This is for a different discussion now.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is for this is
We've
for a
been going
different
on
show,
for like
which
15
we
minutes
do-
about a completely
we
different
do
show.
in every episode.
At the end of the last She-Hulk thing, that's pretty much what we did about other shows. To be fair,
we always do this.
Well, that's what She-Hulk. This is House of the Dragon.
yeah.
It's just
Anything
because
else to
everything's
wrap up
happening
with?
at once.
Yeah, what do you
that's,
guys
that's the
think-
problem.
What do you guys think is gonna happen next week? What are your hopes?
Next
I have
week,
no freaking clue.
I have no idea. No
Fucking-
clue.
Kaz, you're a book. Yeah, you're exactly. You're a little.
Yeah,
think
Kaz,
it's
you're
gonna
a
be-
nerd. What do you
I think
think?
it's gonna be next episode's gonna be the time skip.
That's
Right?
what,
You
that
think?
was what I was just
Okay.
I think so. And I think because like they already revealed the actor who's gonna play an older Aemon.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen this
there's-
shit.
The screen
And
caps
I think
of
the
him
next
in
episode is
costume
gonna be a
online.
time skip, and then at the very end, I think is when like everyone's gonna split their sides and Civil War is gonna begin.
I think that's fair. There's what, 3 more episodes?
Yes, we are on episode 7.
Yeah.
So 8, 9, 10.
I do expect we'll get at least 2 episodes post time skip. So I think it'll probably happen this next episode.
Mm.
Fuck.
Because this will be the last time skip. So they're gonna want to introduce us to our actual main characters.
Which are Aegon and.
I
Aemon,
think it's
right?
still Rhaenyra.
No.
It's still
No,
like
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra and like
Rhaenyra, it's Rhaenyra versus Aegon. Is
Yeah.
the Civil War?
Yeah. But I think they're going to keep a focus on Alicent because I think Alicent is.
Oh, I fucking
The
hope
one
not. I
pushing.
hate Alicent.
I love her though.
No, I love how,
I
like-
love her.
I love how, like, it's so grey, is the way I'd put it. So murky.
Yeah, she's a compelling villain because she's barely a villain.
Look, if by the end of this fucking series, if
Oh no, she's.
Viserys doesn't die, I swear to God, that guy's going to live forever.
I loved the fact that like not to something
guy's
go back
gonna
to
become a
talking about the
three-eyed
episode, but
raven.
like the fact that like Rhaenyra said like it was your own self righteousness like is gone now like because yeah like that's I hate the fact that Alicent is just like you just got to get away with everything. It's like, you could have, and I said this to Kaz, I think, you could have gone into Viserys' room and been like, I don't want to say exactly what I said. Like, you could go into his room and be like, man, I smell like fish. You know what I mean? And be like, very unappealing. And you didn't have to go ahead with what you were doing. So you chose, I'm sorry, now I'm going off on her. But like, that's all I'm saying. God damn,
there's a lot of interesting character motivations and morally ambiguous characters in this show, and it's part of the reason why I think it's so great.
It's so good.
And that's all I have to say about that.
I'm excited for next week.
I'm excited for
Same.
next week as well.
That's consistent.
I don't think we did this at the beginning. What was your rating for this episode, everyone?
This was a 8 or 9 for me.
I would say
Same.
that no
8 or 9.
episode has gone below like an 8 for me this whole time.
I would say this
the
one's
thing.
like a 9 as well.
This
for me
one's
too.
probably a 9 for me. This was up there.
Yeah, I'd say like so far every episode has been for me about an 8, and this one was my favorite episode, so definitely probably a 9. This was just a really good episode.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Like, yeah. And I'm hoping they can keep the momentum for the next 3 episodes. I imagine that like it's all been tight so far. If they drop the ball now, it would be shocking. But like,
Just wait for the season finale, man.
just wait.
You know,
Just wait till
one
season
last
8.
thing,
And just wait
about
for
this show
season
or
8
this
where they
episode.
fucking drop the ball on everyone.
Something that I find amazing about this episode and just this show in general is like, you know how you have like a really good D&D session and there's no combat, it was just straight
Yeah.
role play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this episode was.
That's what Game of
Yeah.
Thrones
Mm.
is for me, right? Like,
It
Yeah.
was just
That's-
good writing.
it's crazy that like, because for me, like going back and looking at Game of Thrones is all about the wait until the second last episode. The second
Yeah.
last episode of every season is when the shit gets crazy. But the
Mm.
whole time you're just waiting for that. You know what I mean? But not in like in a bad way. The build up is the most exciting part, I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for us here on our episode 7 House of the Dragon discussion. Go check out Brutal Richard. He's an
Stay
awesome
away.
guy. Yeah, I mean, like if
Give me
he
a
tells you,
second.
man, stay away because it
Do not come to my channel.
smells like rotten eggs. Apparently, he broke last
I
week.
disagree. He's lying. He's saying that.
He broke last week after, how old are we, 30 years?
We
Yeah, we'll
threw
say
too
that.
many. We threw too many
Threw
pieces
too many
of food
eggs.
at him. Yeah.
I don't know how
Finally,
old he
my
is.
channel.
Don't.
Well, you
I'm not
gotta-
trying to dox him.
I'm just a young
You got-
boy.
He's 52.
He could be fucking a million years old, and I'll never know.
Yeah,
He
check
could
him
be
out.
some
He-
fucking ancient.
Richard's an
deity.
eldritch egg being.
Yeah, he's the best.
Ancient
Go check him
eldritch
out.
egg.
The great elder
Yes.
egg.
As for us, we are going to
Mhm.
be streaming again
The
tomorrow.
old egg.
We're going to be streaming
Brother.
our episode 5 review. Boy,
Oh,
howdy,
oh,
that'll be a fucking thing.
I'll watch that
Dad's-
tomorrow then. Huh?
Guys, you gotta fucking watch it still with me.
I'm in pain. Is all I feel.
I'll tell you guys also right now, Paris has abandoned the show. Like, she will watch shows with me, but last night she was like, I don't give a fuck about Andor, so you watch that.
That's so
I felt
fair.
so
I can't even
alone.
be mad.
I can't be mad because, like, honestly, who fucking gives a shit about Andor?
Yeah, like I love it, and it's also kind
I
of
like this show.
whatever.
Well, like, before watching this, I was like, who the fuck gives a shit about Andor?
Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I think it's a great show, and I don't give a single fuck about it.
It's a shame,
Yeah.
but it's what it is.
On Friday, we got Roro coming back for. We're hopefully
Let's
going to be doing
fucking
that every
go,
Friday
baby.
this October because spooky times. So that'll be at 6 p.m. PST.
Season up the spook.
Then we got
Oh,
She-Hulk.
God.
Episode 8 discussion on Saturday. Unfortunately,
Thank
AJ
God
will
I won't
not
be there.
for that one. But man, watch this be the best episode, AJ. You're gonna miss out on
I'll watch it.
Watch this be
but,
the one that I like.
Yeah. And then next week on Tuesday, we got the premiere of Token Tuesday with Kaz. So we're going to be going through the Monster Manual
Clap, 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 clap,
I
guys.
may,
Rip.
we may have to push that back another week because I
Son
just
of a
realized
bitch.
Georgia's coming to Birmingham
Nope.
that week,
Nope,
and I'm
it's
gonna
that
be
day.
hanging out with her all.
It's
Nope,
that
No, I
day.
can't. Like, I'll be
George is gonna join
exhausted.
that
All
time.
right, so maybe that'll be pushed back to the 18th. We'll see.
Sorry,
We'll see.
guys. I'm very
Yeah,
sorry.
But we'll be doing the entire Monster Manual, and if we feel like it afterwards, going through and doing other tokens from other books. So that'll be a fun
Nice.
little
Higher
project.
monster manual though. Whew.
Whew.
The entire
Woohoo!
Monster Manual.
We're starting with Eric Cochra, so I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this burns.
Starting
Eric
strong.
Cock.
Just bad.
Okay, now we just got fucking matured stream just now. God damn it, AJ! What the
Oh, what
fuck,
happened?
man?
What?
He said cock.
Well, why'd you
Who?
say it out loud now? I was saying Aarakocra.
Oh,
Well, now I have to say it. Cock.
All right, we are
We
going
watch
to
it.
raid into Thumble, folks. They are playing some D&D. Oh, actually, they are doing character creation with sign
Oh.
language stuff. So that'll be awesome.
Oh, neat.
oh shit!
Look at that.
Shit! Oh shit!
Oh shit. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yo,
it.
you know what? You know what game I really don't care about?
Uh-oh.
Oh, for Overwatch 2.
Bro, yeah,
Yeah,
like
same.
I have
Same.
a
That
weird
game came
emotional
out.
response with that game because I want to, but I also don't.
That
It feels
game
like a
came out.
betrayal.
I can't believe that shit.
Yeah, it came out last night. Like,
A darkness will take over me if I play that game again, I think.
I mean, on top of that, it's also fucking Blizzard. I don't want to deal with them anymore.
Exactly, right?
Same.
There was a
I won't give
time
them my money.
that the only gaming company that I had stake in emotionally was Blizzard. And now,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
They were once on top of the world, and now they're in a pile of shit.
My first game was Warcraft, and now I hate
Mhm.
Blizzard. It hurts my
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I hate Blizzard.
I hate to say it. It's emotionally traumatic for me.
Oh shit, McClunky! Fuck! Oh wait, what?
It's
Are we
okay.
doing that
It's
now?
okay.
Oh.
You got some time. You got some time. It's still going.
All right, that's all I wanted to say about that, though.
Ando.
Be excited for Andor tomorrow, guys, because we sure aren't.
On the two fromage.
I'll watch that.
Oh man. Thank you for watching, guys. McClunky.
McClunky.
I already said it.
He said it.
Oh man.